Good afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Wolf with Honorbound Gaming, and I am going to run through this very quickly because I had a 15-minute video recorded with audio, and I just lost it because Audacity didn't save it for some reason. So, this is going to be a quick shot, I guess, review for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I just finished it the other day. I thought it's a fantastic game. I did not go into the game expecting it to be any good because, while Machine Games is not Bethesda Softworks or Arcane, they were sister companies and are still sister companies with a lot of very strong ties between them. Todd Howard was an executive producer on this game, as he was on the other two titles. I'd argue that he was probably even more involved with Starfield, which was an unmitigated disaster, as we all know. This game is not that. This game reminded me, in a lot of ways, much more of Skyrim in terms of the design of the dungeons in the game, the fact that you can locate dungeons or discover dungeons and puzzles and whole quest lines, to put it in Skyrim terms, I guess, just by wandering around the map, or the several maps in this instance. Not an open world game. This game is very much directed, handcrafted, large areas with many routes to explore in them, but definitely a very finite amount of content in here. I played for about 44.2 hours. I'm not 100% done. I'm probably close to like 75% there. A lot of the collectibles in Siam Sukhothai I did not get, mostly because I had beaten the campaign at that point and I'm not a collectathon guy. I don't really like collecting a lot of things if it doesn't fall along the path of me completing the main story quest. That said, I did like the fact that skill books were something that you needed to discover in the game. Some of the skills seemed a little bit pointless, like just flat health increases and flat stamina increases. I wish that they had done something a little bit more creative there. Some of the other skills, though, being able to grapple larger enemies, knock out enemies that are unaware by whip pull. Very cool ideas. Definitely sells the character fantasy of playing as Indiana Jones, but it did not lend itself to any build diversity, which, to be fair, I wasn't expecting there to be. But if you're going to incorporate a skill system at all, that's going to, I guess, result from keeping an eye out for these skill books. You would hope that they would reward that diligence a little bit more highly by giving you a lot more diversity in play style. That said, what is here is fantastic. Really sells the fantasy of Indiana Jones gameplay. It's way more investigative and sort of puzzly than a lot of games that are out there, certainly more than Machine Games' last few titles, which, as I understand it, were all Wolfenstein games. Haven't played any of those, but I do know that Wolfenstein's an FPS. Combat, Indy can punch, grab, throw, counter enemies. It's very much selling you on the idea that he is a scrappy, untrained boxer type character. You use a lot of improvised weapons, and you can pick up just about anything that you see that isn't bolted to the ground or too large for a human being to carry. Can lead to some very fun combat encounters, some silly stealth takedown animations that are really good. Environments are gorgeous. Egypt and Sukhothai are both very well done. I was a little bit less impressed by the Vatican, but what are you going to do? It's Renaissance architecture. It's beautiful, but it's definitely been done before in this space. Character-wise, both Indiana Jones and Gina are well acted, well motion captured, well animated. Troy Baker does an excellent job capturing the character, down to even certain micro expressions. I might show a scene here, but I'm kind of reticent to show any cutscenes because the story really is something worth going through and experiencing for yourself. I do think that this is definitely a worthy successor to The Last Crusade and way better than the last two movies we got. The Bethesda family of studios have definitely earned my trust again, I think, when it comes to their ability to produce something of quality. And Disney, and letting them do some of the things that they let them do, letting Gina have an actual character arc and be endearing and charismatic as a companion for Indiana Jones, I really actually appreciate it. That's something they allowed to happen. And that's my thoughts on it. I think it's definitely worth a buy if you don't have Game Pass. I mean, it's for free right now on Game Pass. Might not be there forever, but as a first-party title, it probably will be. So I think it's worth a download and worth a buy. Check it out.